Good evening and welcome to Unfiltered, or good morning if you happen to be watching this in the morning. It is the second week of January here in Keene, New Hampshire. I'm your host, Rick Blood, and you know, I came in this morning, not really much to talk about because I haven't, again, I've been trying to stay happy and not pay attention to the news. Government is still in shutdown, so, the happiness level is elevated a little bit there. There are some things going on in the local town that I live in here in Keene, New Hampshire. So let's pop over here. And you notice? Quick cut that time. I got it right. Let's talk about this new restaurant controversy that's coming to Keene, New Hampshire. Yeah, I'm sure that even if you're in faraway lands, you've heard about this. There's a lovely young lady named, and I can't even think of her name right now. I'll remember it before the end of the show, though. Isabella Jolie. That's her name. She's opening a restaurant. She had a food truck down on Route 101 by Monadnock Local Goods. I believe it was over the past summer. Vietnamese food. Apparently the national dish in Vietnam is something that is spelled P-H-O. Now, as a stupid New Englander, I assumed it was pho. Apparently it's not. It is pho, like it's a question. Pho? So the controversy isn't that this restaurant is going to serve Vietnamese food. The controversy is in the name of the restaurant. I think it's a pretty great name. Maybe more of a catchphrase than a name, but it can translate. The name they want to use is Pho Keene Great. And there's a huge controversy. Danny Mitchell refuses to say the name of the restaurant on the air. He says it's because it sounds like dirty words. Well, you know something? Here's my message for Dan. Enunciate. Pho Keene Great. A wonderful Vietnamese restaurant named Pho Keene Great. Pho Keene Great. Pho Keene Great. City's threw a fit. Apparently that is unacceptable for people who are too lazy to separate their words. Yeah, and again, on the issue of words, if I talk about sausage and you immediately think penis, that's on you. That's on you. It's your interpretation of the words. And people have been screwing up interpretations forever. People misinterpret the Bible. People misinterpret the Constitution. People misinterpret almost anything that anybody says if it touches a twinge with them, I don't know what to say because I don't know how you're going to interpret my words. But I think it's a huge blowout over nothing. It's the name. It's going to, the name's going to be on the sign. P-H-O-K-E-E-N-E-G-R-E-A-T. There is nothing obscene, nothing weird about any of those three words. Sure, say them fast, real together. And then, oh yeah, oh, sounds like something else. Sounds like a dirty word. When I first went on the air, back in 2006, during 2006, 2007, I was live on Cheshire TV. All of the shows that were filmed at Cheshire TV were live, which means that as they were filmed, they went out on the air. No 7-second delay, no protection of any kind. I know, Rick, use protection. Yes. Again, if your mind went someplace else, I feel bad for you. The 7-second delay in radio is for the reason of, the accidental slip. And yes, I had one time where I accidentally slipped. That episode never got a second airing. Not because Cheshire TV wouldn't air it, because public access, there are no limitations. All I would have had to do was say, Lee, I screwed up. I said a bad word in this show. Please only run it after 10 o'clock. And it would run between 10 and 6 in the morning, which are considered our safe hours. So, one of the things that I was doing during my live show was taking phone calls. A lot of you remember them. I had some really great phone calls. I had some really stupid phone calls as well. There was a group of, I believe at the time they were middle schoolers. Maybe 7th, 8th grade, maybe freshmen in high school. They would call into the live show just to swear. Because, oh, it's so cool. And apparently they would go to school the next day and go, oh, did you hear what I said on Rip Blood Show? Did you hear that? Yes, the entire world knows what an idiot you are. Before actually, I believe it was actually George Carlin, late 60s, early 70s, that came up with that original 7 words that you can't say on TV. And I won't say them. But before that, they didn't have a list of what you could and couldn't say. It was all, well, for one thing, if you think back when TV and radios, well, radio's even further back, but in that era, in that culture, people did not speak like we speak today. You didn't say the F word out in public because you just didn't do it. And the culture was such that the only people that swore were, sailors and horrible people like that. Sailors, longshoremen, guys with tough working jobs where, that they drop something on their thumb. Of course you're going to swear, But it's words, people. It is words. They're innocuous. By themselves, they mean nothing. We are the ones that give words their meaning. Right? So let's remember that. Wow, this is going to be a long show. So other than that, not a whole lot's been going on. Again, we talked last Tuesday, or I talked and you listened, I talked about coming up on the school board budget cycle, which was a full day out at Keene High School last Saturday. It'll be another day this coming Saturday, followed by public hearing the following Tuesday. I can't remember exactly what date that is. I don't feel like doing the math in my head. But it is, you know, a week from tonight. If you're watching this on Tuesday night when it premieres, a week from tonight will be the public hearing for the 2019-2020 Keene School District budget. And it's gonna be, it's up there. It's about, I don't know, 66, 67, 68 million dollars. And you folks can have input. Go to the public hearing, make a statement, you know? If you think the school is spending too much money, don't just go and walk up to a microphone and say, I think the school is spending too much money. Stop it. Go up and say, I think the school's spending too much money. Here's some ideas. You know? Never criticize anything unless you can offer alternative ideas. See, that's where I think that the Democrats are losing it. Is they're doing nothing but criticizing. They're not offering anything. They're not offering any solutions. They're not offering any answers. They're not offering any alternative theories. Trump, on the other hand, is saying, you know, here's the problem, illegal immigration. And there was this, Danny said on the radio the other day that there was, maybe it wasn't Danny, it was in the news, like 93% of all Americans think that illegal immigration is a problem in this country. That number includes 88% of Democrats think that illegal immigration in this country is a problem. Trump says that's the problem. Here's the answer. We build a wall. We strengthen the border security. The Democrats don't want that. The Democrats want open borders for one simple reason. Because if you shut off that drug pipeline coming up from South America and Mexico, then maybe we do something about this opioid addiction problem that we've got in the country. Democrats don't want the southern border locked up because, and I still think that this is true. It was happening during Vietnam. Was probably, I'm not sure if that was when it started, but the CIA and the government is involved with a lot of these drugs, illegal drugs coming up. And again, it's a way to control the population of the United States. Flood the market with heroin. We'll get, you know, we'll make heroin cheaper than food. People will get addicted. People will get sick. People will get weak. And guess what? When that happens, the government will step on us. And again, if you don't think it can happen, look at all these places around the world where our soldiers are fighting against governments that are oppressing and ripping apart their own countries. We need border security. And maybe not just the southern border. All of our borders. Yeah. Maybe we build a wall on the north side too. But apparently Mexico is spending a crap load of money building a southern wall on their southern border to keep the people from South America from coming up into Mexico illegally. China's got a wall. There's a wall around Germany. There's a wall around everything. There's a friggin' wall around the White House. Yes. I've been to Kennebunkport, Maine. There's a wall around the Bush estate up there. You go down to the Cape Cod, there's a wall around the Kennedy compound. Yes. There are walls around a lot of things. And there's a difference between a wall that is built to keep people out and a wall that is built to keep people in. Now, if Trump was building walls to keep us all in America, you know, taking away our freedom to leave, well, that might be a problem. But building a wall to keep intruders out, yes. And if you're sitting at home thinking that I'm full of crap, leave your door unlocked tonight. No, you would never even think about doing that. You lock your doors in your house. You close your garage door. You lock your sheds so that nobody can get in and take what is yours. You lock your car when you park it. You don't park your car and leave it unlocked. You lock it. That's kind of like a wall. So, think, people. Think. That's all I'm trying to make you do is think. Think for yourself. Look at your life, the things that are happening around you, and don't believe stuff that you hear on the news. Don't believe stuff that you hear on Facebook and on Twitter and on all these little things where anonymous people, you know, anonymous sources say, anonymous sources still say the world is flat. But you don't believe them, do you? Well, there you go. So, you know, I really came in this morning with nothing on my mind. I've got a lot of stuff to do at work today after I get done with this show. So, you know, I think I'm just going to wrap up a little bit early. So, and I'm all ranted out. I mean, I've been trying to focus on being positive this year, you know, and not being so negative. And I think, you know, we all have to do that. And you know, I don't want to control anybody else. I don't want to tell anybody else how to live. And at the same time, I don't want anybody telling me how I have to live. But negativity bleeds out. Negativity bleeds over. If you're negative, the guy next to you will eventually become negative, and so on and so forth down the line. Think positive thoughts. Let's see if we can stand all them dominoes back up instead of just pushing them all down. So we'll go back over here. I'll hit the right button today. And busy week this week, busy week next week with meetings, and you know, after the holiday slowdown, it's kind of tough to get, you know, back into that good chugging motion where we're in motion every single minute of the day. So I guess my credits are all ready. I'm tired, worn out, but still pushing on. Till next week, I'm Rick Blood. This is Unfiltered. Peace.